one episode without.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Ain't gonna do it. Just ain't gonna do it.
Well, like I said, we start the show with a joke because that's
maybe JJ could tell a joke.
What are we doing here? Already? We're already doing this? Holy shit. Holy, get to the damn joke.
JJ don't tell a joke this time. So this funnier after AJ tell it. All right, you ready?
Damn joke.
JJ don't tell a joke this time. So this funnier after AJ tell it. All right, you ready? Everybody out there ready in the Twitter and internet world?
Oh.
All right, here we go. What did the cupcake tell its frosting?
What did the cupcake tell its frosting? But go ahead, hit me.
I'd be muffin without you. Should be muffin. Get it, muffin.
Oh, I did.
Go back and look.
I think you were trying to shave.
I'm 40.
I think you're trying to cover your own ass right now and just
Best
not admit
country of
you were
ninth
wrong.
in the country.
I think you're just trying to cover your ass right now and don't.
You know what? I got a big ass, so
That's a
it
lot
would
of
take
cover.
a lot of cover. It'd take a blanket, damn it.
More like a drape.
Did you just pull a drape? Is that so I can open it up when I need to go? You know,
Hey, you're getting too deep into this.
you put a drape on my ass. I don't know why.
I didn't put anything on your ass. Oh man. Folks,
Andrew just sent me a text of good grief.
You're a former coach. The fact that you don't understand what I'm saying is probably why you're a former coach, homie. All right. That's what I'm gonna say. Any dude who can create an AAU team can say they're a coach. If you don't want to commit to it, take your ass and be a PE all-star.
First off, you need to get your facts effing straight.
Oh crap! He's already here. This J Kid. Oh, nice glasses there, coach.
I'm a basketball coach, and when you're the point guard, you run the team. And when you run the team, it's kind of like running a marathon.
How do you like me now? How do you like me now? What? You're the coach. Shut up, dude. I got so many people to shut up, but he's one of them. I won 5 Super Bowls, damn it. How dare you call the Cowboys a shit team? Watch the Cowboys. It'll be fun, they said. Bloody fucking hell, it was no fun. It was like riding a train around one of the Kardashians' asses, and you just disappear into this abyss of ass.
If you smell like ass and you look like ass, you play like ass.
Somehow he talked about buttholes that made me hungry for a PBJ sandwich.
Parents, stop planning vacations during your son or daughter's athletic season.
If you look up at the scoreboard and it's 35-7, and it's only 7 because you just scored, shut up.
Your colors are black and red. Why are you wearing orange shoes? It makes no damn sense. Stop it. Can we get back to some color coordination?
And they're playing with sticks, and they're playing with a little puck all the time.
Expert analysis right there. They play with sticks and pucks. Talking about last names, Stankhoven. He put the stank on him, and that was terrible. I'm sorry. I tried.
His mom not going to like you for that. It's playing in these ridiculous places. They played in Ireland. Taking American football in Ireland.
Trying to grow the game, man. Global game.
These people, they don't give a damn.
Well, I don't really know, but it drives me nuts. You're almost going to laugh. I can see it. Almost fixing to lose it. It drives me nuts.
Oh, man.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
Woo! Hello, folks. We are live on this Thursday night. I am Casey, the remix schedule, as the beautiful new display screen says. And the bald and the beautiful across from me, Eddie, the original schedule. Go ahead, say hello to the people on our first live episode.
To the people and to your dog back there.
Yeah.
So, Casper. But yes, it's exciting. We're live. We'll see how this goes. It's our first show. So, stand by for snafus and crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff. All right. Well, folks, we have a jam-packed show. We got, obviously, college football playoffs reaction, all 4 games. That's the advantage of going Thursday. But before we get to really anything else, prayers and thoughts to the families in New Orleans and Las Vegas. Tragic events there. Make sure you keep those in your thoughts and prayers with the people. Obviously, it postponed the Sugar Bowl by a day, in the name of safety. So, which was probably the right move, honestly. So, but yes, college football reactions. We got our first original guest on the show back in April. Jason Fry was our first guest. He will be back tonight to talk about his new brand. Excited about that. We got our top 5 sports moments of 2024. We got NFL Week 17 reactions. We got Coach J Kidd's going to be in the house talking about the Mavericks situation right now. I heard he's changing his diet this week as well. So hint, hint. Sir George is in the house. He's going to be here. Interesting story about the royal family Christmas party, I hear. So that's entertaining. And then we got picks with Pops, which we both went 3-2 last week. So we tied again, even though I'm leading on the season. So let's start with that Texas. Arizona State.
You're
go
starting
ahead.
us off first snafu here with no joke.
Yeah,
we still got to open up with a joke. I mean, I understand we needed to say what we needed to say for all those folks who went through but we need to laugh a little. We still got to have some positive. So, what do you call a French man? Here, I should say it like this. What do you call a French man wearing sandals?
A French man wearing sandals? Hit the people with
that would be Philippe Fallout. Philippe Fallout.
Wow.
Yes.
Folks, that's why we're trying to talk sport. No, we get it. We get it. That's why we're not comedians. We say that every week.
I'm hilarious.
So
all right. So
goofy looking, that's what you are.
Yeah, well, I was born this way.
No.
All right.
All right. Texas, Arizona State. All right. I hope that's apple juice or it's going to be a long night. Texas, Arizona State. What you think there, old man?
Before I get into the targeting, let me get into the fact that Arizona State, I am now a fan. First off, I think at the beginning of the year, they were picked to be dead last in the Big 12. And they were a Cinderella story. If you guys watch Caddyshack, Cinderella story coming out of Arizona.
You're aging yourself.
Yeah. They were they won a bunch of fans that night. I mean, Scatterbo, my goodness. I didn't really know much about him, but the dude has heart, he has grit. And we saw, I don't know who 77's name is. I should have looked it up, but who pulled him across the goal line for the touchdown. Ultimate teammate. He said, "Here, little guy, let me take you to the end zone."
Hold on. No, that is a legal bull crap play. That's a body slam, and it should not have counted.
He gave him a suplex.
Yeah, he German suplexed his ass across the line. Okay, you want to push? Fine. But you grab him and suplexes? Are you kidding me?
Whatever. If they're going to allow pushes and all this other bullshit, then they can pull people across the line. And to me, that was just a teammate saying, you know what, let's go. And he rolled him over the top of him. It was a perfect suplex move. That guy, if he doesn't make it in the NFL, he can definitely go to the WWE. But let's get to it was a great game, except for the fact that the refs sucked butthole. Because, and I know everybody's focused on the targeting, and I'm going to talk about that. But they missed so many damn calls in that game, not just the targeting. But let me just go to the targeting. That was targeting.
Which one?
When you lead, when your helmet, Taff, Mr. Taff, or Taffy, or however the hell you say his name.
So the one on the Texas receiver wasn't targeting?
No.
Yes, it was.
Because he led with his. Now, you could have called the penalty and said hitting a defenseless receiver, but he led with his shoulder. Now, if you look at the rule for targeting, it is launching with your helmet into the other helmet of the player. He not only hit him, but he caused him a concussion, knocked him out of the game. And for all you people on X that want to respond to this, oh, that was not targeting. Oh, they missed this call. They missed that call. Yes, they did miss those calls. But good gracious, tell me you're a Longhorn fan without telling me you're a freaking Longhorn fan. I'm so tired of every time I get a response on there, or anybody who responds on there about that was not targeting, you go look at their profile and they have that outline of the uterus. I mean, the Texas Longhorn fan or Texas Longhorn logo, whatever it is. But I call it a uterus. Take the ears off and it's a perfect uterus. And no offense to the uteruses out there.
We're gonna get
yeah, it was targeting. And unfortunately, that, for me, that was a pivotal point in the game because of that play and because the refs were scared to make the call. So we've seen way less for targeting, way less. He should have been flagged and he should have been out of the game because he launched himself with his helmet. Everybody wants to say, well, it happened so fast. That's football. If you don't lead with your shoulder, you're going to put yourself in that window for targeting. Period.
I'm just going to say this, man. If I'm not going to necessarily agree or disagree on it, but if that one's targeting, so is the first one. So the no call, it evened out in my eyes. And you know I don't like Texas. I'm not defending Texas here, but
you're talking about the one where the two defenders came together on who was it? Who was the
completely destroyed a defenseless receiver? Yes,
but he led with his shoulder. If you look at the play, he led with his shoulder. Now you can argue the fact that he hit a defenseless receiver, and that should have been a penalty. But it is not targeting by the definition of targeting. Listen, it is a personal foul of defenseless receiver.
But I'm gonna go back to one of your previous points on Skataboo. That dude is a bowling wrecking ball. Man, I'll be honest. I didn't see Arizona State play all year. They're a West Coast team. They're a Pac-12 team. They were predicted to be terrible. I ain't seen them play at all. They did impress me with an undersized defensive line. They held Texas's running game in check. But that dude, he should have been, if he's been playing like that all year, he should have been higher than 5th in the Heisman. But
yeah, now he did win the player of the game, even though they lost the game. He was MVP of the game.
Yeah, I ain't got a problem with that at all. He should have.
Oh yeah.
But the targeting was a big play, and I get that. But Arizona State had their chances. He
Well, of course they had their chances.
So-
I mean, yeah, you don't ever want it to come down to a penalty and people pissed off about a penalty. They had their chances. Now, Bert, I don't know if he's going to be playing college football or any other football next year after missing 2 key field goals. And I'm
talking
just
about
like,
Auburn?
no, yeah, Bert Auburn.
Yeah, the kicker from Texas. Yeah, I think someone will bring him into a camp, but that definitely hurt his potential draft stock.
And what bothers me about that for kickers, and I feel for them. I'm not a tall guy. Most kickers are not a tall guy, but I feel for him because it doesn't matter what you've done that whole season. You could have been the greatest, but it comes down to 1 or 2 plays that determine your career.
Yeah,
and that's one of the things about kickers, man.
Man, you remember you bringing up kickers and like the mental aspect of it. You remember Mike Vanderjagt? Like when he was with the Colts, he's the most accurate of all time. And then he comes to Dallas after a suspect end of the year with Indianapolis, and he can never find it again. Like kicking field goals and being an extra point kicker, man, it is such a mind. I want to say a word, but I'm not going to say it's a mind F. Okay. Because one may not shake your confidence, but you hit, he goes wide right and then he tries to adjust and then he hits the left upright. And yeah, I'm interested to see how that plays out in the next round against a much better opponent, which we're about to get to here in a minute. Matter of fact, let's just get to it now. Ohio State, holy shit balls. Like, I apologize to the Buckeye Nation. I picked Oregon to win the whole damn thing, and I should have known better living in Columbus for 5 years. I'm sorry. I take my hat off to the Ohio State Buckeyes. Y'all put it on Oregon. That was straight from the kickoff, man.
It was, and we all picked Oregon to pretty much run the table and win this thing. But as I said on our previous broadcast with the rest of the fellas from Tired Sports, is the Ohio State's coach he's got to win a national championship. And I tell you what, whatever he did that week to get them ready, they were ready. And they just came out the gate and put it to the Ducks. They went duck hunting and they took out some ducks. So yeah, Ohio State, and that's going to present a pretty good matchup.
Yeah,
and we're
from what I saw, blah 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 blah. Can't edit that out on live.
Ain't no editing.
Yeah, no, the editing comes after. Between Ohio State and Texas, I thought Texas was a better team all year, but based off of this last performance, I'm making the statement now. I'm picking Ohio State to win it all. I'm making up for my mistake. That is my apology to the Buckeye Nation. So, Big Brother Damo, if you're watching, if you're listening, I apologize. I humble myself into your good graces, and please accept me picking your squad now.
Yeah, well, you can't go against Lee Corso. Lee Corso put the mascot of Ohio State on his head, and most people did not agree with them. But yeah, I'm just going with that game. They are not my pick now to go to win the whole thing because I have a different team.
Ooh.
But I do think Ohio State is going to be able to handle Texas.
And I'm going to say this about one of the reasons why I picked Ohio State. Quinn Ewers is a freaking roller coaster, man. He is up down.
That's what I was fixing to say.
Well, then say it.
He is he is a liability. And now, if I'm not mistaken, Ohio State is his former team, thanks to the portal.
Yeah,
So,
he went there for the money, left high school early, enrolled early, never played for Ohio State. And then, it's a small world after all. And so, what a turn of events for Quinn Ewers. And I think the Ohio State players, the Buckeye Nation, they're going to try to use that to their advantage 100%.
it's going to be like in, this will age me, the Fast Times at Ridgemont High when they tore up that dude's Camaro and just set him off. That to me is Ohio State. They are going to be pissed off and they are out to prove something. And like I said, their coach, I think the players know this too. Their coach needs to win the national championship, and they came out and kicked some butt. They really did.
I think if they come out and beat Texas, but they lose in the national championship, I don't think he loses his job. But by the way, that is the stupidest thing right now. Like
What?
your coach has lost 10 games, 65-10, I do believe, or some crazy like that. And I get it. He's lost to Michigan 2 or 3 years in a row, which living in Columbus before, I understand that's the team up north. They don't even say their name. You know, they call them bitch again and all kinds of stuff, you know. But, man, the dude recruits well. He has all the resources. They're in contention every year. The college football playoff is going to give them the opportunity to be in it every year, even if you don't win the Big Ten championship. And it's asinine. Like, people, I get it. And they're crazy up there. They are fanatical in the Midwest in their football in the Big Ten. Whether it's Ohio State or Iowa or Michigan or Michigan State, they are very fanatical up there. And I respect it. They plan trips, holidays. In basketball, we would plan practices around Ohio State games. Like, it was crazy up there.
Ooh. Yep, I agree. I think, but it's that thing is, though, it's about Michigan. And if you can't win every year against Michigan, or at least win every other year against Michigan, you're going to be on the hot seat. But I think we need to move on because I'm going to tell you who my team is now because they proved me wrong all year. I said at the beginning of the year, I thought they were pretenders. I thought they couldn't handle it. But the Nittany Lions, Penn State, are going to win a national championship this year.
Penn State. So let me ask you this. So you think it's a Big Ten final?
I do.
So you think it's Ohio State, Penn State rematch?
Yes.
Oh, that's so we know you're not picking Notre Dame. Okay. Penn State.
Yeah.
What an amazing job on Genty and the Boise State running game. That was my upset pick. You know, obviously, technically, the upset would have been Ohio State over Oregon in those games, and I guess Notre Dame beating Georgia would be technically an upset as well, based on the rankings. But yeah, your Penn State. I'm gonna call them your Penn State Lions because I'm still not a believer because it was Boise State.
Well, and my thing was, I get it. It was Boise State, but the thing is, like I said, Penn State has proven me wrong all year. And last week, I said I'm getting on the bandwagon because I just think Penn State shows up every week and they prove to everybody that they deserve to be there. Kind of like what Arizona State did. You know, they proved to everybody they should have been there, and they came that close to pulling that thing off.
All right,
and
so I just saw in the comments. I know you can't cut, but Damien just logged on. I don't know if you heard my apology, Damien. I apologize to Buckeye Nation. I humbled myself. You are now my pick to win the national championship. So I hope you accept my apology. Okay. And you know what? Next week I'll wear the scarlet and gray all day hat for you. All right, I still got it. It's up in my closet. All right, we weren't live. I'd go get it. Okay, so I hope you accept it, and I hope I'm not wrong, because I hope he's wrong, because I don't think Penn State. But all right, just ended. Okay, well, actually, before we get Georgia, would you still want Genty in a Cowboy uniform?
Yes.
I agree. I agree.
But I will take, if it's a chance between Scatterbo or Genty.
I don't
Because
know.
Scatterbo proved he can throw the football. He can throw the football.
He's a running back. I don't care if he can throw the ball. I think he's a great number 2 option. Okay, I think he'd be a great number 2 back, a power back. I don't think he's a horse. I think Genty is the number 1 running back in the NFL.
Only problem, I'll be honest, the only problem I had with Scatterbo is he wants to run through people instead of getting around them. Like, his quarterback was getting around people. His quarterback on some of those first downs he got, it was just unbelievable. The one where he was basically surrounded by Longhorns and he just kind of popped up in the air and got away, even though he didn't complete the pass. It was just like, this dude, you can't stop him. Man, he's already committed. He's coming back to Arizona State next year.
Yeah, so obviously they were in position, but I think pro prospect. I view Scatterbo a lot like, kind of like a Tim Tebow, in the fact of he's dominating college, but you put him against the best of the best all the time, I think his effectiveness is going to be limited. So,
well, I don't totally disagree. I would have either one of them, but yeah. Gente is probably more the elusive back, and if it's between the two, it's going to be a hard call. But
by the way, they pointed out in the comments, I don't know if you can even see the comments, but Penn State already got beat by Ohio State, so that already happened. So if that meeting the championship, it's already going down. They've already beat them, and I think Ohio State's playing even better now. So, all right, let's get to Notre Dame, Georgia. Just ended. That was a boring ass first half, I'll tell you that. Until that fumble that the Irish forced, and then they throw the dime for the touchdown, and they end up winning 23-10. Which is about what I expected, honestly. With Beck out for Georgia, it's not the just absolute dominant defense full of NFL prospects in every position. It turned out how I thought it would, really, honestly.
Yeah, I said Notre Dame was going to. Well, I probably gave Georgia a little bit more of a chance in this, but Notre Dame, I don't think they're going to make it past Penn State. I really don't. I think Notre Dame's been, to me, a little bit suspect all year. But like I said, I'm riding with Penn State. I think they've got something to prove. Arizona State was the Cinderella story. I think Penn State is it's been a long time coming for them. So that's who I'm riding with. I say it's going to be Penn State and Ohio State rematch. And it's always hard to beat a team twice. So
it is.
I guess we'll be going head to head as long as Penn State gets past Notre Dame and Ohio gets past the KU Longhorns. That ugly old orange.
I got Notre Dame beating Penn State, and so yeah, we'll keep that. So, but we have a commercial break real quick, and then we got Jason Fry is going to join us after the break. And also, if you're out there, you're watching, you got a company, you want to advertise, let us know. We got a bracket okay, you can hit us up. You know, we got bills to pay. I got a wedding to pay for. You know, support your veterans. I'm selling it all right now.
I see that.
Let's play this ad and yeah, some words from Easy Leadership here.
Without people data alongside your financial and business metrics, you're missing a crucial piece of the puzzle. Strategy is only as effective as the people who execute it, and without the right support, even the best plans fall flat. Your business and financial data show where you are and where you want to go, but without people insights, you're navigating blindly. The right culture brings strategy to life, turning dreams into reality, while a poor culture can kill the best strategy any day. Understand your team's performance, motivations, and needs. Don't let culture be the Achilles heel of your business strategy. Contact us or visit Easy Leadership today, where we have tools and resources for every budget to help you succeed.
All right. Good to go.
All right.
That's
let's bring easyleadership.com. Oh,
Jason,
there he is.
hi.
There he is.
Oh, that's better. That's a better view.
That's a better view.
What is
Got
up?
the hairdo going on there,
Making his return.
Jason.
I showered. That's all it is.
Oh, okay. I thought you'd be repping the merch. Like
I am. I got it repped over here. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're good to go.
I got this one.
Yep. Let's do it together.
There we go.
How did I not get one? Where's mine?
You weren't invited to that party.
Yeah, sorry. If you really want to wear it like Jason, it's like this.
Thank you.
It's like that.
I'll do that.
That doesn't rep the logo. Actually, my fault. This is my first time using all this, so I got to get this. Bam! Look at that right there.
It was my first time.
So Jason, man, how you been?
Things are great. Just got back today from a 12-hour drive from Austin, Texas. It was my first time getting a glimpse of those Longhorns.
Ugly, aren't they?
They are lovely.
Yeah. Did you guys know that Bevo was barred from the stadium because they can't control it? They always had two guys holding a 2,500-pound freaking bull. And of course, my wife wanted to argue with me that it's a Longhorn. Well, yes, it's a Longhorn, but it's still a bull. You can have a Longhorn cow or you can have a Longhorn bull, but it's 2,500 pounds of animal. And he went after the Georgia Bulldog last time they brought him. They said, no, you're not bringing that freaking cow anymore.
Well, you want to know what 2,500 pounds looks like? Right here.
Okay. Well, there you go.
You want to see a marshmallow? Right here. I need to get on your plan. All right, man. Well, first, let's get into your brand is called Do Hard Shit. Like, tell us about it. What does it represent? You know, what are you trying to get across to the people with that? I love the name, by the way.
Thank you. You know what? We're all struggling. Everybody's struggling with something. There's people with some mental health issues. There's some people who out there, single moms. My brother has a kid with special needs. So we've all got this different level of hard. And a lot of us are trying to put the pause on it when instead we've got a breakthrough, because we all know what happens when we do the hard stuff. Growth happens. An amazing experience happens. Something that you get to tell other people about happens as a result of pushing through. And so it's just that encouragement, that reminder that when I put this hat on, when I put Do Hard Shit on, it's my reminder to tell myself I can keep pushing. I can keep moving so that I can obtain mission success.
It's very cool, man. That's very cool.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun.
For the people who don't know, you work with a very impactful guy named Nick Lavery. You sent me, or you recommended his book. I listened to his book. It's a long listen. I'm not all the way through it, but I got to tell you, man, for those who don't know Nick's story, he's the first full extremity amputee to go back into the special forces. Did I get that right?
Yeah, he is the first and only above the knee amputee.
So he ended up losing his leg, and I got to tell you, I was actually in Ohio this summer when I was listening to it. I was driving around, and to hear him talk about when he was like minutes knowing he was going to die, and he's putting 2 tourniquets on his leg to try to stop, just slow it a little bit, dude. And I don't consider myself a weak dude, but I was in tears, man. And so, what is it like to be around a dude like that?
It's like just being around the most humble person you know. He is as authentic as he is off, as what you think and what you sound. That's how he is. In a one-on-one, when we have dinner together, when we go out and we discuss, when we have our phone calls and our one-on-one sessions. So like, he preaches humility and vulnerability, and he legitimately lives that piece. So it's my favorite thing to do outside of being a father, is to be in the presence and to talk and to learn and to have those discussions with them. My life changed being around him in the last 2 years. And so, like, my hope is just to rub that same thing off to somebody else. So he's very impactful. He's a big dude. I do like to give him a hard time, though. He's big to us, but then when he goes to work with the Detroit Lions, he's no longer the biggest dude in the room. And so I sometimes like to remind him of that piece.
So last year you had an inside track, or maybe I shouldn't say it like that, but you correctly predicted the Boston Celtics were going to beat my Dallas Mavericks in the finals. Yeah. And matter of fact, I think you predicted the Celtics in April when we had you on. So
yes, he did.
What's your prediction this year?
Are we JT all the way? Let's go Celtics. It's going to be another one. They got a great unit. They got a great team. And I'm not saying that there's not another team that's great like that, or that somebody else is going to have some nights that could potentially beat them anyways. But that type of team, that type of chemistry is something all these coaches are sitting there trying to go, how do I create that piece? That's what business leaders are doing. How do I create what the Celtics have within one another? So, it's just like being around special people and special teams. Those are rare. And so I'll continue to ride that train until Missoula is gone, because I think Missoula is a major piece of that. Till all those pieces are no longer there, I think that they've got the best chance.
Got you. What have you started with Do Hard Shit? Sounds like it has a great impact. Where are you trying to get it, and who's kind of your main focus with that? You and me talked before that you're coaching coaches. Are you branching off of that now? Are you expanding that? Where are you looking to go with it?
With Do Hard Shit, our goal is to make DHS brands something that turns into leadership development, something that turns into one of the things that we're doing is we're doing a ultra marathon. So we're going to go 50 miles on a trail. And so that's one of our Do Hard Shit experiences, because if we can train to get that to that point, we know what kind of resilience has to happen in order to get there. So what can we do? What kind of people can we become as a result? So that's going to be our first major thing. So if you don't want to do a 50 miler, cool. I don't want to do it, but I know that doing the hard stuff is actually going to be what makes me grow. I don't like cardio. I'm not a friend of cardio. Once I retired from basketball, I was done, but I'll do it for this, because I know who I can become as a result of this push. So that's going to be our first. That's going to be our first baby. And then after that, we're going to do leadership events. We've got an amazing place out in St. Louis called Adventure Unknown. And so we're driving a lot of leadership events over there, amazing members. And so we're just looking at trying to create as many experiences from a leadership development standpoint as possible. Now, could that be a father-son duo like you guys coming in and doing some father-son events? I think that that's really cool, and that's something that we're going to do. Why? Because fathers and sons, I've got an 18-year-old who were like this, right? And so how do I do a better job so that it's not like that, or it's not like that as often? So how do I develop that relationship with them? I think it's a very impactful and important thing. So those types of things are going to be what we're pushing forward with DHS.
One of the things that, if I can chime in, one of the things, I talk about this is the coming storm. I've talked about it a lot in mental health for the younger generation. You see a lot of them who get overwhelmed with life really quickly. And, a lot of things for us folks who got a little bit more experience, we're like, just get over it, dude. Just go, why is that such a but a lot of it to me, and why I like what you're doing, is once they experience meeting a challenge, meeting a goal that they didn't necessarily think they could get there. And I know you guys have seen this in coaching when you're coaching a kid to do something that he's like, Coach, I just can't get it. No, you just keep working on it, keep working on it. You're going to get it. You got to believe up here first. It has to be here first. And so to me, one of the cool things about it is giving people that chance to achieve something that they might have felt, man, that's really overwhelming. It's like me, before I die, I want to jump out of a plane and go skydiving, and of course my wife says, you're crazy for
I'll
wanting
do
to
it.
do that at your age. But for me, it's just one of those things. Yeah, it scares the hell out of me thinking about it. But you know what? There's something that just to be able to do it once and to say I've done it. That's why I think what you're doing is really, really something that's needed in our world today. Is getting pushing people to not be so overwhelmed and reach for challenges that they didn't think they could necessarily get to
Yeah.
or achieve.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is consistency, right? This big ass goal, I call them bags. The bags are huge, and so they look scary. But if I look at, okay, what's step one got to look like? And then I can get to step one. And then we just frame this out as, here's the flag here. I want to get to that flag. I want to get to that flag. I want to get to that flag. I want to get to the next flag. If I can do that, then all of a sudden when I reach that goal, I did it. So it's like that whole segmenting or chunking. How do I chunk little wins to just be able to catapult myself up to the next one?
Yeah, I think a lot of athletes and a lot of people in today's society, they have these grandeur ideas of what their life is going to be, and you see this big ass elephant called life in front of you, and you don't realize you got to cut the elephant up into chunks and bite and take it one bite at a time. And I think I'm stealing that from Brent Gleason, one of the Navy SEALs that I've seen talk, and you know. I think a lot of young people, because of the external world we live in, we're trying to make money off it right now. This is where we're trying to provide an external service right here, right? And so ultimately, like a lot of them are never taught to deal with their selves, to understand their own emotional intelligence. And for those watching, I know we're a sports show, so once in a while we have some deep moments here. But when I have kids coming to me struggling, they're like, "Hey, coach, what would you say?" And if any of my former students are watching this, they'll back me up on this, or my players. I go, "Hey, first thing I want you to do is I want you to go in your room, turn everything off, don't have your phone, just make it black out the room, and just close your eyes and let your mind go." And we forget to teach people or show people how to just navigate their own mind so they can tackle life and be able to have the confidence to do hard shit and to challenge themselves, whether that's in business, whether that's an insane 50-mile hike, whatever you just talked about, ultra marathon. That's what it is. Whether it's taking the challenge to lose 50, 60 pounds, or try to open your own boutique or go back to school or whatever it is. It's a huge challenge for a lot of people in today's world, because it's real easy to give up real quick.
We see it, and relating it back to sports, it's one of the things we talked about with the rest of the folks from Tire Sports. Is we talked about this college portal, transfer portal, and if it's too hard here, or I'm not getting to play as much as I want, I just move on to the next thing where it's easier for me.
Yeah.
And so you see that that's playing out in sports right now. And that's what we're talking about. They've got to get control of it, because to me, it's not teaching those young men and women the, work through the challenges, get through it and achieve something. One of the things Casey's always said, or he's talked about on some of his things that I agree with, if your kid's not playing, if your kids are not playing, there's a reason. If they're not on the floor, there's a reason. You don't see what's going on in practice. You don't see the attitude. You don't see, you may see the grades or whatever, but there's a reason. Don't get on the coach because your kid's not in there. Talk to your kid about what can you do better? What can we work on to get better at it? So yeah, what you're talking about is playing out to me, especially in sports, especially in the college world right now.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the college world, because that's something that, I coached in college. I had somebody make a comment on one of the posts that I made, and it was simply, you know what, those coaches can get up and leave, but as soon as a player does, now that's frowned upon. Well, if the kid didn't have a relationship with coach, they should leave. Why should they stay? So it's this two-way street of how do we work together on building a relationship and building your level of development. Like, that's the one thing that everybody forgets about, is development is spelled with T-I-M-E, time. It's like, that's it. You can't develop if you're not given this game plan, this roadmap, and go, okay, well, I've got to get here, and I got to get here, and I got to get here. Like, you shouldn't be allowed to shoot a three if you can't shoot, 60% catch and shoot wide open with nobody on you, and you can't just deliver that bucket. Well, then maybe that's coach's rule, and that's the case. Well, coach tells me I can't shoot threes. Well, what's the rest of the story? Coach, maybe I didn't put in the time. I'm not putting in the time. Well, why am I not putting in the time? So there's this developmental issue that coaches seem to forget about, and the public forgets about, and the players forget about. That, like, I got recruited because I could do this. And the second coach stopped giving me love and attention, the second I stopped showing up at 30 minutes before practice and I started showing up at 15, and then it just dwindled. Well, then coach is like, well, he's not putting in the work, so why am I going to put in the time with him? And then it's just this constant wheel of crap where everybody's talking crap about the other person when it was a developmental issue and a relationship issue.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you mentioned if the coach can leave, player leave. We kind of addressed that as well, that should be an opportunity for kids. And honestly, sometimes you get somewhere and you coach in the college, you might be able to test this a little more than me. But you're a high school kid, you get, and it's on a whole different level now with NIL. But, back in the day, you get somewhere and maybe it wasn't everything they sold, or it wasn't the right situation. I mean, how many times have we been in a job where situations changed? I was the head coach at a high school 1 year, and, the entire regime that hired me left, and it wasn't the right situation for me anymore. So I had to make the decision to leave, even though I knew next year we were going to be good. So sometimes you need a change, but hopping from place to place is not a good thing either. But that you're 100% right. I do interviews for, shameless plug here, the Chip Howard Sports Talk Show. I'm his high school correspondent. I interview high school coaches all around the Brazos Valley and northern Houston area. And I always ask them, what's one attribute, if you could start drafting attributes for a coach, what would you pick? And the number one every single time is the ability to build relationships. And so that's exactly what you're talking about. And I think it really is the most important aspect of in sports, in life, honestly, not just sports, but you mentioned the father-son dynamic, a brother, a family dynamic, friends, all those things are hugely important. All right, Jason, before we let you get out of here, who with the 4 teams left, are you picking for the national championship game?
I saw Eddie say Penn State.
He said Penn State. I said Ohio State.
When I wrote my papers in college, and I hope none of my professors are watching this, I don't think they are, I never did my due diligence on my sources and all that stuff. So I always said Penn State was my source. Like, according to Penn State, 76% of all people who win this football game will lose the next game. Well, my teachers never argued with it because it said Penn State. And so that's just a funny thing. I never got called on it. But Penn State, hey, look, man, I honestly have no care about who wins the championship. I think Ohio State's going to be pretty tough to beat after what they just did. So it's going to be, it's going to be pretty close. I saw Texas, and being from Austin, Texas, I should say the Longhorns are going to do it, but I just don't think they will. So let me go Ohio State.
All right, you agree with me. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
After me.
He's going to Ohio State.
They demonstrated something last night, and they took the life out. And if you can ever take the life out of a number 1 team in the country and just pull that from in the first half.
As I said, they went duck hunting.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, my man, and it won't be the last.
Yeah, most definitely.
It won't be the last. Thank you, you guys. Hey, please do hard shit. And if you don't support the brand, that's okay. Just recognize that what you're doing is hard in the moment, but it's got so much growth and potential for you later on.
Yes, check out Do Hard Shit. And, if you support them, they may support us more. So, just saying it out there. I'm throwing it out there. So, but yes, thank you. And give my best to Nick. Tell him I'm going to finish listening to Objective Secure. Shameless plug on his book there. Hopefully he'll get a few more copies.
Casey, Eddie, thank you for having me.
So, yeah.
Appreciate it. So take care, man.
Peace.
Peace.
All right.
All right.
Well, normally this is where we would have. Whoa. Oh, wrong one. Where am I?
Yeah.
Nope.
I don't know. You're about to show the same ad again.
No, remove that. Where are we at? All right, I'm just going to go here. Normally we'd show an ad right here, but we only have one person. So That's easy leadership. So, all right. And folks, we're probably going about an hour and a half. I know our normal show's about an hour, but we ain't constrained to that no more. So,
nope.
Let's get to NFL Week 17 reactions. Maybe talk a little Mavs, and Coach J Kidd in the house, and then we'll may get a little Cowboy action. So, Week 17, that Bengals game was a hell of a game. Overtime win, double overtime win, or was it just one? I think it may have been one. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking college. Stupid.
Where are you going with that? It was overtime though at the Bengals and Denver, but it was just one. So, but Bengals. Unfortunately for the Bengals, they're coming on a little too late. Joe Burrow has reemerged as his normal self, and he is starting to show what everybody thought he would be bringing to the table from the beginning of the year. But they just outlasted the Broncos. I'm still super impressed with Bo Nix.
Yes,
and
that throw to tie it. Oh my Lord!
He's
wow.
To me, he's the best draft pick that came out of quarterbacks, obviously. So, and I don't think there's anybody who thought that.
Jaden Daniels. You think he's better than Jaden Daniels?
Now that you bring that name up, I'm going to say they're pretty even. The only thing about Daniels is Daniels seems to be
hot take,
a little bit more mobile, I should say. But I think I can't really decisively say which one's better at this point.
Jaden Daniels is better. He brings more to it. He may not have a better arm than Bo Nix, but I think Jaden Daniels obviously right now better. I don't know about long term. But yeah, that was a hell of a game. Bengals pull it out, stay alive for the playoffs. Pretty impressive there. I got that pick wrong. I was wrong all last week on a lot of stuff. Holy crap. And so, we got to go local here. What's up with the
what happened? Texans? Chiefs.
Like
they scored two.
That's a baseball. That's an Astro.
It's like they shot one basket.
Holy
scored
crap.
Two.
What was it?
But I'm going to say it, and I know you Houston fans are not going to like me for saying it, with one exception, and the old Rockets. The Astros are the one exception. Houston teams, and especially a football team, they love to get you wrapped around this, man. We got this. We're going somewhere, and then throw your butt off the cliff right before the end of the season or once they get into the playoffs. And so I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I do believe in Stroud. I think he's a pretty good quarterback. I think D'Amico Ryans is a good coach.
Well, you listen to the sports radio around here. They're like they're not on the Stroud train no more. They've jumped off. I'm like, dude, he had a great rookie year. You're supposed to make that jump in your sophomore year, in your second year, but he didn't. He regressed, but he's also been getting the crap knocked out of him all the time. Like you got to find some linemen to help him out, and they've had a ton of injuries as well. I mean, Tank Dell just been down for the year. Stephon Diggs has been hurt all year. Injuries on the defense, so they've dealt with quite a bit there. But don't jump off the ship that quick. You got a franchise quarterback and you got a great coach. Come on now.
Yeah, I think hopefully some of these injuries will start to kind of subside and they'll get some people back. But right now, yeah, you're right. I mean, Stroud can only do so much.
What do you mean get some people? Like they're going to probably get bounced in the first round of the playoffs. They got this week and next week. I don't know. I don't see them going anywhere. But how about the Giants screwing up the number one pick?
Thank you, Giants. Thank you for messing that up.
Oh man, what? I mean, look, there is one reason why I do love NFL football is yes, you can say they're tanking, but at the end of the day, they are putting on tape to get paid. They're on non-guaranteed contracts. Guys want to win. I think tanking in the NFL is a lot different than tanking in basketball, or if you just put a terrible product on the field in baseball. It's any given Sunday, honestly. And I think they needed that win for Malik. Is it Neighbors? Malik Neighbors?
Yes, Neighbors.
Make sure he didn't quit on the damn team, but. Way to take yourself out. Go from first to fourth in the picks, and both quarterbacks. Which I honestly am not a huge believer in Shedeur Sanders as an NFL prospect. I think he's a project at best. We know quarterbacks get overvalued in the draft, way overvalued.
Oh yes,
and
most definitely.
So that'll be interesting when April comes around draft time, but. Good job, Giants. Appreciate that.
Yes. Now I'll save this for when we talk about the Cowboys here in a minute, but Josh Allen, they killed the poor little Jets with Aaron. I can't play anymore, Rodgers. So whatever. He may be MVP, but he's still going to lose in the playoffs.
Well, here's
my words.
I do have this written down on the Allen MVP part. he's probably not going to play very much next week. And Lamar Jackson has to play for the Ravens because they still have stuff on the line. I think Lamar Jackson probably will overtake Josh Allen as the MVP because of that factor. All right. And because you're not playing, unless you're going to kind of discount that game. But if you're a voter, I don't think you can. If Lamar goes out and tears it up and Josh Allen is chilling on the bench,
You're forgetting about somebody.
I mean,
You're
Vikings,
forgetting about somebody.
Sam Darnold is not going to win the MVP. He's like 5th, 6th on the list. All right. He's had a great year. The Vikings have been great. I'm sure we'll talk about the Vikings in your picks. I think we're both going to pick that game because that's probably the best game of this upcoming weekend. But yeah.
How about those Vikings, huh?
Huh?
Vikings pulled it off 14-2. Tell me who had them at 14-2 at the beginning of the year.
Nobody.
With Sam Darnold coming in as quarterback.
Well, he wasn't going to be the quarterback, first off. J.J. McCarthy was going to be the quarterback. So nobody had him, just like you had the Bills having a losing record at the beginning of the year. And that's another reason why Josh Allen should be the MVP. Because you said he didn't have any help and he can't win games. And look at this. They're winning games.
Yeah, but they went out and they traded for Coop.
Coop's been hurt. He ain't done jack shit. He ain't doing hard shit. Oh, man.
I'll take Coop any day.
He'll probably be a Cowboy next year.
Which would be a good thing.
By the way, can you admit that you were wrong on Zeke? The whole Cowboy thing. He was going to have a resurgent year. He's got something to
I never said he's going to be like the leading rusher. I said he's going to make a difference, but I don't think they didn't make a difference. Coaching this year was not good with the Cowboys.
No, that was the worst decision they made in the running back room that they could have made. It was a waste of $3 million. He
was the only one left.
What?
They passed on everybody worth the damn before him.
Yeah, and he wasn't worth the damn. They should have went and found some undrafted guy at Costco. It would have been better.
Some undrafted guy at Costco. Really? That's some undrafted guy at Costco.
There was this big 6 foot.
Hell, I'll play. Give me a helmet. I'll play.
That's basically what Jerry Jones is doing. Okay. All right, JJ. All right. Saquon Barkley, right move to sit him?
He agreed with him. I saw the tape when the coach went over and asked him and said, "You're only a few yards away."
You're talking about the personal record. That's the video that's out there. His career high in a game, and he said, I want to see the young guys.
Let the young man eat. So, I think you have to be careful, right? The way it's going, you have to be careful. And if you have the ability, if you have everything sewn up, which they do, there's really nothing for them to win for, then why? Why play?
You want to know why? Because I said it on Sunday night when we were on with one of our other show. When you got a chance at history, you go after history. You Dan Campbell that shit, and you play every game. All right? You can't live in fear. Play the game and go make history. And you know what? Because you sat out a few times and later in the games, it's really the reason you don't have the record. All right, so it's really your own decision why you don't have the record. It was more than just that one game you're talking about. You shouldn't have sat last week or against the Cowboys when you had over 100 plus. Like, you go for it. That's just my thing. When you got a chance of history and to live in infamy, I think you should go for history.
I can't disagree with that. But, there's some guys it's bigger. It's bigger to win a championship. And to me, quite frankly, I think Barkley being on the Giants for as long as he has and never
that's the other reason why you go for it.
Huh?
That's the other reason why you go for it. It's against the Giants just to give them a right there.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. We'll
right.
have to see what happens this weekend and who's gonna,
All right, hold
what's
on.
gonna happen. That's why picking this week is going to be extremely difficult because a lot of teams are just not going to have a lot of people there. Okay, so I'm on by myself right now. I see that he changed the thing, so we must be having a guest or something coming on. But how about the Lions over 49ers? That was a good game. It looked like the 49ers were going to take that game fairly quickly as they got up, 21-13 by halftime. And then the Lions
Hello?
just came on. Now, we were talking football, but I see now Jay Kidd has inappropriately came in during the time we were talking football.
I'm not inappropriate.
So,
You're inappropriate.
okay, I'm inappropriate. All right. Well, so I'll drink to that. Okay. All right. Well, welcome in Coach Jay Kidd, obviously wearing, always repping the fact that he was a champion at one point.
2000
So,
champions, point guard.
yeah, you were a point guard, that's for sure. We know that. All right. So, Mr. Kidd, Mr. Coach, what's going on? It seems like you guys are dropping a little bit in the standings here. You've lost 3 in a row. You fell back all the way to 5th. You're behind the Nuggets now in the standings. So what's going on there, Coach Kidd?
Well, you mentioned the Denver Nuggets, and we're behind them. And our golden nugget is Luca Doncic. Okay, and so Luca is hurt and is going to be out for the next month. And so ultimately, we're not going to play as very good as when you do have, your nugget in your roster. Speaking of nuggets, what's your favorite nugget? I'm partial to Chick-fil-A nuggets, but I kind of grew up on McDonald's nuggets because Chick-fil-A wasn't around. It was only in malls when I grew up in Oakland. But yeah, do you like sauce? I like sauce. I like the sweet and sour sauce, but you can't get
Okay,
that.
so Coach, yeah, I California, I would have went with Carl's Jr.'s Chicken Stars, but that's me. But let's get back to the actual thing we were talking about here. So the Nuggets have moved ahead of you. The Rockets are still staying up there, and you've still got the Thunder, who have won, Coach, just in case you haven't seen this, they've won 12 in a row.
Well, that's
So,
impressive. But what was also impressive was Najee Marshall punching the Phoenix Suns in the face. It reminded me of Rugna Odor punching Batista in the face. And I think it should be a statue outside the AAC next to Dirk's fadeaway. And so, but, we struggled a little bit with Luca being out. PJ was suspended a game, unrightfully so. And Najee Marshall has been suspended 3 games. He should probably only been
PJ, is that his actual initials, PJ?
Yes, and I'm not falling into the trap of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich again because you seem to get me on that, and I'm not doing it. Okay, we all know I love PB and J with no crust, so you can move on from that.
Okay, all right, so we'll move on from that. I just thought you were sneaking in a little PJ peanut butter jelly thing in there once again.
And hey, I'm over here standing on business. Well, I'm sitting, but you know what I mean. I'm standing on business. I'll do the PJ pose right now. I'll drive over there to wherever the hell you live, and stand on business on your face.
Okay, well, very violent Coach Kidd tonight.
I'm a champion, mother effer.
Oh, whoa, easy now. We're on a live show there, Coach. So we're not taping this. We can't edit that stuff out. So be careful. Be real careful. But so who do you think? Now we just had one of our guests on, Jason Fry, talking about the Celtics are going to win their 19th championship. So what have you got to say about the fact that a lot of people are looking at that? Not only to me, they're looking at the Celtics, but they're also overlooking the fact that the Cavaliers
Yeah,
are still leading the Eastern Conference. What have you got to say about that?
You know who this Jason Fry character is. You know, he was talking about doing hard shit. Well, his prediction is bullshit. Okay. All right. And I don't believe a word he said on his prediction for the NBA Finals. I know he had insider information. I think the Celtics cheated last year personally. And, you know, that might be a hot take. But, yeah.
They cheated.
Yeah, they cheated.
How do you feel they cheated, Coach?
Well, I don't want to get in that because I don't want to get fined by the NBA.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get you. So what's the plan going forward now that you have no Luca?
Well, the plan is we're going to try to win games like we always do. I'm going to draw up plays in my spaghetti noodles as I always do. And ultimately, we're going to win games.
Oh, wait a second. You draw plays in your spaghetti noodles. How is that possible without the sauce and everything running together? I never heard. Is that like a term, or are you serious that you draw plays on your plate in spaghetti noodles? Coach?
It's an NBA. It's an NBA insider secret that NBA head coach is kind of like the president's book of secrets in the National Treasure movie. We all do it. We just don't tell anyone. So now we're going to have to find a different noodle arrangement.
Are you telling me coaches like Coach Popovich does plays in spaghetti noodles?
The thing about Coach Popovich is he actually liked to use popcorn with super glue.
Popcorn with super glue?
Yeah, he would put super glue little magnets on the bottom, and then he would arrange them on the board, and he would like color them different colors, and that would signify the opponents. And yeah.
Well, I just want to say we can't verify that information, even though you are saying it. But I think we can verify that, do your spaghetti noodles have meatballs? Are those the players?
I don't want to give away any industry secrets on that particular thing, but yeah, I'm just gonna say, you gotta. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm saying no more. So my agent is telling me that this interview is over, and I just want to let everyone know that
we need spaghetti noodles.
No, I just want to let everyone know that I'm a champion. Goodbye.
Okay, well, thank you. That was Coach Kid with the take on spaghetti noodles, drawing up plays. Now, I just, I'm wondering, how do you keep the spaghetti sauce and everything from maybe he doesn't have a lot of spaghetti sauce. Maybe he eats butter noodles or something. I don't know. But that is the first time I have ever heard of plays being made in spaghetti noodles. I'm just thankful we did not spend 30 minutes talking about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, even though he tried to slide one in under with the P and J. Even though that may be the guy's initials, he always manages to somehow end up with peanut butter and jelly somewhere.
What I missed?
So, and there is, you missed coach. You're a coach, basketball coach.
I am.
Is it an industry secret that you draw plays in spaghetti noodles?
That seems a little difficult to do. Just to be honest with you, is that what he does?
That's what he claims is a secret. He said he didn't want to give a lot away, but he claims that he draws plays in spaghetti noodles.
That's Crazy.
And he claimed Coach Popovich used popcorn and super glue.
Well, you never know what you're going to get from J Kidd. I'll tell you that.
No. Well,
all right. Well,
we got another guest.
We
that
do.
I can see coming in.
Yeah. We're about to talk Cowboys, so you know Sir George is going to show up. I wish I would have been here for the J Kidd interview. That would have been a lot of fun to watch. Spaghetti noodles drawn up place, impressive. But on a serious note, my take on the Mavericks right now, obviously suspensions, Luca being out, they're gonna have to tread water. They're gonna be, just treading water and trying to survive and be in the playoff picture. He's out for a month, so he'll be back, and hopefully he'll be back and stay healthy, and hopefully Kyrie can, get some wins here and there and keep the squad afloat. So, but now we're going to transition to our weekly Cowboy talk. For those who don't know, our lineage goes back to Great Britain. We're directly related to Longshanks, the former King of England, the evil guy, and Braveheart. So we always envisioned ourselves on the Scottish side going, freedom! Yeah, that's not, no, we were the evil people. But, our man, Sir George, is here from England.
All right. What's going on? How's everybody doing? I've got Buckingham Palace behind me, except for that big freaking piece of paper that keeps showing up on that side. I don't know what that is.
Why don't you?
But all right. So, how was your Christmas, Casey?
Christmas was pretty good, pretty low key. Went over to Dad's house, played some games, opened some presents. Hey, there you go. No, now
I think I got rid of it. There we go.
But pretty low key. How was yours at the Royal Palace?
Oh my God! I've got to tell you, I've got a little story I've got to tell you. But it's always a big shindig, as you Yanks would say. It was a big shindig or a hoedown. Would you call it a hoedown? Since you're from Texas, a hoedown.
The only time
that's what we usually. That's usually what we say when one of the Kardashians show up at the castle and fall over. The hoe is down. The hoedown. Hoedown. So, yeah. Okay. So I have to tell you. So each year it's a little bit different. When the Queen was around, it was a little bit more formal. But for those of you who don't know, is King George doesn't like cake or pies or anything. You know what King George likes? King Charles, I should say. Why am I saying King George? I'm not King. King Charles, do you know what he likes?
Well, he doesn't like cake or pie. Does he like crumpets?
No, crumpets he doesn't like. Well, I mean, he eats crumpets like everybody else. We eat crumpets. But no, for a special meal, for dessert, he likes pudding.
Pudding?
Royal pudding.
Like chocolate?
Yes, he likes pudding.
So
that's what King Charles wants.
A royal stash of snack packs?
He does. He has those little snack packs. In fact, I've had to get those for him before, like the little Lunchables. You wouldn't know this, but King Charles has Lunchables. Why? Because he needs help. He can't make his own food, so we give him Lunchables.
Well, I don't think any of them make their own food.
But so they have this pudding, this royal pudding. So they have this big shindig, right? This big hoedown of everybody together. And so, the chef has worked his behind off to make this pudding, and he put this little bit, like, what is it? It's Mardi Gras where they put a little baby in the cake or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember the exact name. Someone in the comments, please let me know.
Yes, you put a little baby in the cake.
They call it a cheesecake, I think, but I don't know what the baby.
So he puts a little plastic crown in the pudding. because he figures that'll be really cool for them to find, right? Well, the book is coming in, and it's a big show, right? Because it's the King's thing, right? I know where some of you people might be going with that, but no, it's the King's pudding. And when the chef comes in with this giant gold bowl of pudding, they have pyrotechnics. Now, Casey, I'm going to tell you, I was in charge of the pyrotechnics, the fireworks.
At Christmas?
Yes, when the pudding comes in, fireworks go off.
And you're in charge of it.
Yes, so I hit the button, right? I hit the button for fireworks, but I did it too soon. And the pudding, I'm not kidding you, the bloody pudding caught on fire. It went up. So the chef is holding a bowl of fire. And he doesn't know what to do, right? So I run up and grab the bowl of fire pudding.
Sounds like
this bowl is on fire. Now you can't see it. It singed my hat just a little bit right here, right?
Okay.
So I run out the back door with the pudding that is on fire. You know, Buckingham Palace does have a back door. You might know that. So I run out. And it's cold in England right now. It's not like the picture behind me here. It's cold.
Chilly.
So it's icy. I slip. And the pudding goes flying.
Flying.
And it flies, right? It looks like one of those UFO drone things that everybody's seeing. And it lands on the royal bushes. The pudding lands on the royal bushes.
So you screwed up Christmas.
And the bushes catch on fire. So now the back of Buckingham Palace bushes are on fire from the pudding, from the blood pudding.
That's a hell of a story.
King Charles, being the optimist, and here's the thing I didn't mention. There were guests outside. There were lots of guests, right? Because the king invited all these people. So they see me come out, fly around with the flaming pudding, which hits the bushes, catches on fire. King Charles, being the ultimate optimist, he just looks at everyone, holds his hands up in the air, and he says, "It's just a royal symbol of warming the land." Merry Christmas, everyone.
Nice save by King Charles there. Terrible execution of the pyrotechnics by you, cousin George.
Well, you know, I just march around. I'm not used to doing this, but
yeah, it's a new year. Let's leave that negative in the past.
Thank you. I appreciate that, because that makes my hat just kind of want to fold, you know, when I talk about that, and then got to go back up a lot of that.
Thank goodness it popped back up.
Oh, now it's a little kooky.
All
right.
Never mind.
So at the beginning of this season, you told me to lock the Cowboys.
I did.
And oh my God, could you have been more wrong? My goodness.
I was wrong on that.
What is it with the Cowboys? You've got Michael Paulson. What happened to Dakota?
He got hurt.
Dakota?
Dak got hurt. He tore his hamstring.
He was carrying a ham and tore a string.
No, your muscle on the back of your leg. He tore that off the bone.
That's called a hamstring.
Yes, it's called a hamstring, even in Britain.
Why did they call it a hamstring?
I don't know why they call it a hamstring. Okay, all right.
Is it?
You're gonna figure that one out.
No, that's kind of a weird thing to me. But other than that, so what? 41-7.
Yeah, it wasn't good, George. It wasn't good. You think Mike McCarthy's back?
Oh, Mike McCarthy. If I was a betting man, which I'm not because I'm the flaming pudding man, is that I would say, knowing JJ, yes, he will be back.
Interesting.
I think he will. He'll bloody be back.
That is a hot take right there. Hot take.
Yes, I think McCarthy is going to be back. Now, do I think I tell you what, I saw something, Casey, that I have to tell you. I saw Jerry Jones at the Eagles game on the sideline, and an Eagles fan was thanking Jerry for how he ran the Cowboys.
Yeah,
He told him,
I don't think
he
he was
said,
being serious. I think he was being a little sarcastic.
"You don't think he was being serious?"
Oh no, it was a jest, as you would say in England, of saying, "Hey, you're doing a good job, thank you." It's because he's running them so bad it makes the Eagles look really good. So, unfortunately, yeah, that
So what's this JJ's problem?
he's
Why is he such a bloody idiot?
well, that would take a lot longer than the time we have. So, Sir George, we got to let you go tonight. Um,
Well,
only one more week of punishment of watching the Cowboys. So
and then you're going to have to talk about cricket.
we're never talking about cricket on this show, other than not talking
Well,
as
What
stating.
about all the cricket fans? Don't you?
We have no.
Didn't you tell me that some of your fans are from India? They watch a lot of cricket.
They haven't seen any of our stuff since I stopped paying for advertisement on Google Ads. All right, they didn't follow us, unfortunately. 17,000
Those
one of our rules.
bastards.
Yeah, unfortunate. But all right, George, we gotta say goodbye. Say hi to my dad on the way out. All right. Oh man. Well, I said an hour and a half. We're gonna push past that. We're live. We ain't got no, we ain't handcuffed by the constraints of the man no more. So we're gonna get to our top 5 sports stories of the year. We'll go through those quick. We got sports pet peeves. We got a new audience, so I'm gonna go over one of my original sports pet peeves, and then picks with pops we'll go through real quick. So we just got done with Sir George. He was frustrated with the Cowboys' dad, and he decided to ruin Christmas and set fire to pudding, the King's pudding.
Wait, you see you? So you're saying he set fire to pudding?
Yeah, we thought Coach J Kidd was off with the PB and J stuff. Look, man, setting pudding on fire at Christmas is crazy.
Yeah, who eats pudding on Christmas?
Apparently, King Charles. It's like an old person.
They're weird over there, man. They're weird over there.
Secret stash of snack packs, which I kind of respect. I'll be honest, kind of respect that. But all right, we gotta get to our top 5 moments of the sports year. Kind of, I told the people we're gonna go about an hour and a half. We may end up going close to 2 hours. Crazy long show, but hey, we're entertaining. A lot of folks out there. I got the TikTok live going. If y'all want to see the whole show, y'all can hop on YouTube, Facebook at On Time Sports Talk, all those. Or on my Twitter at Coach Schedule. If you want to check out the whole show, you can see pops on screen, all that stuff, our live ticker, all that, good stuff. But I'll go ahead and start. Top 5 sports moment of the year. My number one, well, no particular order, but the first one I'll talk about is Nick Saban retiring. I thought that was massively impactful for college football, for obviously Alabama football being the most dominant program over the 10 years. I've wondered what it had to do with, and seeing the NIL craziness and seeing the transfer portal craziness. I don't think Nick Saban wanted to deal with that crap anymore. But I thought that was huge in sports this year.
Yeah, are we going 5 to our top one? we're talking, it don't matter.
Mine are in no particular order. I was just going to get your thoughts on Nick Saban, and hit me with your first one you want to throw out there.
Well, yeah, no, I can't disagree with Nick Saban retiring. I think there was a lot of other folks in college football, so thank goodness. But yeah, it was huge. We'll see what he ends up doing, if anything, afterwards. A lot of people are rumoring him that if college football comes up with a commissioner, that he would be the first one to look at it. Well, one of my tops is not that far from the past few months.
Really?
$756 million contract for Juan Soto.
Ooh.
That is a huge moment, because that just blew the freaking lid off of what we thought was the 700. It's almost $1 billion. You can't see it because of my background. $1 billion.
Yeah, that's a crazy amount of money. We talked about it when it happened. Yeah, just a crazy. I mean, and then that kind of led us to who might be the first $1 billion athlete. It's going to be a baseball player, and they're probably in high school right now. But that's just, it's unfathomable. Like,
which is crazy to me, because if you go to baseball stadiums, unless it's really close to the playoffs or whatever, they're never really full. It's eventually that's going to top out. I don't know. Every year we say that. We say it's going to top out at some point, but
I mean, the bubble's got to burst at some point, but we're not there yet. All right, my next one, Caitlin Clark at Iowa, getting to the national title game, coming up short against South Carolina, and parlaying that into how the NBA refused to embrace their next star, their Jordan, their Steph Curry, and how they're still not embracing her for whatever reasons you want to talk about, whether it's race, whether she's straight, we didn't know she kind of sold out on our political stuff with her time of the year interview. But, ultimately, like, to me, that was probably the biggest story of the year on the WNBA and how they were treating Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, I had that in my top 5 for sure. And because before that, no one really was, except a select few, were really interested in the WNBA. And I think we talked about this on the show a few shows back or whatever, saying that there's not a lot of rivalries right now. And that's one of the things why the NBA is kind of broken, because you don't have some good rivalries, whether it be teams or whether it be players. Well, the thing about Caitlin Clark coming in against Angel Reese seemed to put a little bit of a rivalry going on. And so, that definitely.
Rivalry in Angel Reese's mind.
What's that?
It's only a rivalry in Angel Reese's mind.
Well, that's true. And that was the whole thing. But I think the sports public, wants to have a rivalry. And that's what makes sports great, right? When you've got a good rivalry. Back when the Cowboys played the Redskins, who are the commies now, the Washington Commies.
You're right. Rivalries make sports great, but they got to be on the same level. And I'm sorry, Angel Reese ain't on the level of Caitlin Clark. Like, it's not Magic Bird. It's just not. It's not even Jordan Miller. It's not even Spike Lee and Miller. Like,
yeah, and if you look on X today, there's pictures of Angel Reese going around. She's more concerned with how she looks and what people say about her looks, that she went and wore a very scantily clad outfit for New Year's. So to me, Angel Reese is more worried about how she looks in the public than she does her game. That's just my opinion.
Well, there was that article a while back, like, she's like, oh, they're trying to people are sexualizing me, and that's part of women's sports. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but if you're if you're going to portray yourself a certain way, which she has, you can't get mad at people for taking it that way. I'm sorry.
No, not after the picture. And you guys go look on X and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's literally there wasn't a lot of fabric used in that dress. Let me just say that.
I think I briefly saw that, but my next one is in the Olympics. Simone Biles becoming unarguably, in my opinion, the greatest gymnast, if she wasn't considered that already, and winning multiple medals this round to add to hers. And she's put herself up with potentially, and she is arguably the greatest American Olympian of all time. I think it's her and Michael Phelps / maybe Carl Lewis. I think that's an interesting topic that we'll probably get into 3.5 years from now. When the Olympics come to the U.S., maybe we'll be big time and be able to get credentials of some of that by then. But I think it's Simone Biles in the Olympics. That was a story, especially after what she struggled with in Japan. When she bowed out, she was dealing with her own, issues mentally and the pressure and depression. I don't want to say what it was or what it wasn't because I don't remember exactly, but I remember she was dealing with her own issues with herself, and she had to take a step back, which, I'll be honest, we weren't doing this at that time period, but I was probably, I was younger. Obviously 4 years ago, I was probably a little critical when I talked about that. Now I probably understand it more, and I completely respect her decision that she did that, and the strength that it took to do that. I think at the time I was like, hey, that's selfish. You're letting down the team, blah, blah, blah. Probably thinking more of a coach rather than a human being at that point. So Simone Biles, best gymnast ever, putting herself up with the best Olympian ever.
Well, for me, my next one is Boston Celtics winning their 18th title, which put them ahead of the Lakers for the most. And so I do think they are, as Mr. Fry was saying, I think they definitely have a chance to pull off their 19th and move 2 ahead of the Lakers in all-time championships. But that to me was one of the biggest ones, just because and if you go back to the playoffs last year, a lot of people were saying the Boston is going to flame out. They just got too many issues with players. They got too many things. They're going to flame out. But they proved everybody wrong, and they won that championship. So 18 titles to the Celtics.
I think you're saying that
one of my top 5.
I think you're just trying to take a jab at me, and because they beat my Mavs in the finals. Yeah, that was impressive. I gave Boston their credit at that time, and I'm going to move on from that because I don't like them. And I don't agree with Jason Fry's prediction on our show earlier if they're going to win it back-to-back. All right, my last one here is Shohei Ohtani going 50-50 club. I only thought that was possible in video games on MLB 2K, the show. And not only going 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases while not pitching this year, winning the World Series with the Dodgers. That, to put it together, was an incredible season by him. He is the best player in baseball. And it's crazy that we've seen he is the best hitter, arguably with Aaron Judge. And the best pitcher when he's healthy. Like we'll probably never see this again. Like it's once in a lifetime. So that was massive in my book.
Well, I'll go to, and I think we're just on number 4, at least I am, is Freddie Freeman, first ever in a World Series. And you think about how long the World Series has been around. First ever Grand Slam walk-off home run. I realized it was game 1, but the fact that had never been done in baseball ever was amazing. And so Freddie Freeman, that was a big one for me because I saw that as it happened, which was pretty amazing. So was that all yours?
Go ahead and give us your fifth.
My fifth one is Kansas City Chiefs repeating the Super Bowl. And by all accords, they have everything set up to three-peat. So Kansas City winning back to back, because you think about there's not very many teams been able to do that ever, because they say that's probably one of the hardest things to achieve as far as football goes. So Kansas City, and Mr. Mahomes and all those, even though we had to put up and we're still putting up with a lot of Taylor Swift stuff that to me, talking about pet peeves, there's certain people who you just, show them once, that's good. But not every time the dude has a play. I think they've gotten better at it now.
Yeah, they have.
But
I
Kansas
disagree.
City,
They're not winning 3 straight. My prediction has been clear in this. My fifth is Scotty Scheffler getting arrested at Valhalla before the main. Casper wants me to throw his bone. If Linda's watching, she's laughing hysterically right now. But that was a crazy situation. They didn't know who he was apparently, and just it was insane. So that was headline news. I thought it was hilarious. And he goes out and shoots a 66 after getting taken to jail that morning and puts himself in contention, which was even crazier. So so those are our I love how we didn't talk about those, and we pretty much had 5 different ones. So all right, we got picks with Pops, then our sports pet peeves, and we're out of here. So let's go picks with Pops. We both went 3-2 last week. And I'm leading on the season. And so if you're going to gamble, well, we don't pick against the spread. And I think we're probably going to start doing that next year. Pro games against the spread, see how we do. But let's do who we got? Giants at Philly. Philly sitting everyone.
that's the question. That's why these are very hard
It
to
is
do.
weak, right?
So I'm actually going to say the Giants are going to screw up even more because I think they're actually going to win this game because I think the Eagles are going to be setting folks. I think they may. I don't. How far is Barkley away? I haven't looked, but
He's 102 yards or whatever. He's not playing. They've already decided. So,
well, there you go. So to me, the Giants can win this game and screw themselves even further out of the draft pick. So I'm going Giants.
I agree. I think the Giants win because Philly really has nothing. I think guys are going to play not to get injured if they are playing, and you only got 53 guys on your roster, so you can't sit everyone. All right. The Commanders at Dallas.
Well, to me, the Commanders still have a little bit to play for to continue to try and get a better record, better seeding in the playoffs. So I'm going to say the Washington Commies are going to win this. Cowboys have nothing to play for, and I'm just wishful thinking. Hopefully, they don't win this game, just because I understand they want to play, they get paid to play or whatever, but we need draft picks. The season is over.
Normally I'd agree with you, but 2 weeks ago we were praising the Cowboys for not giving up after finding out they're eliminated from the playoffs. Then they get run by the Eagles. I think they respond this week, and I have them beating the Washington football team. So we were split on that one. All right. So that's all the division games. I have 3 wild card games, but I think one of them we're both going to pick because it's your team. Detroit at Minnesota. We know who you're picking. Put the hat on. Let's go. I just got it. I expect it now. Oh, your horns.
That's right. I got to turn off the background because it looks like what I would wear to an Aggie game. The horns are sewn off. So let me get rid of this background so that way we can see them. There we go.
Fuzzy horns.
Yes, it will be the Vikings who will go 15-2.
Wrong.
Would have thought it?
Wrong. You're wrong. The Lions are going to win this game. That's simple.
Well, okay.
That's all I'm going to say. It's the Lions. It's Dan Campbell. It's Ben Johnson, who hopefully is the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. It's Aaron Glenn. It is the Lions all day long in this game. All right?
It's going to be Sam. How do you like me now, Darnold, winning this game?
All right. My first wild card game that I don't know if we got any of the same going the rest of the way. I have the Saints at the Buccaneers, and I have the Buccaneers winning.
Yeah, I picked that game too, and the Buccaneers will win that game.
All right. Well, hey, this is what happens when you try to. And the last one I have is Broncos at Kansas City. I have the Broncos winning because Kansas City has absolutely nothing to play for, and the Broncos do. So, those are my 5 picks. What's your last game?
My last game is Texans and Falcons. I'm going to say Texans bounce back from getting their smashed in the face last week, and they take on the Falcons. The Falcons are kind of still in a little bit disarray, so I think the Texans will take that game.
All right.
There you go.
There it is. We got one more segment, then we're out of here, and it is our sports pet peeves.
All right.
I don't like that screen. I don't like that one. That one's a little better. I'm still learning these screens, folks.
The first show.
No, I don't like that one.
All right.
All right, that one will work. Actually, can I just move you? No, I can't. All right. I tried. All right, well, that'll work. Sports pet peeves on the awesome background that I created. You're welcome. Okay. I only got one this week, and I know you might have one or two. I'm revisiting one because it happened to me again, folks. My sports pet peeve, the very first one I think I ever talked about, because we got a new audience, and I think y'all deserve to understand this. There's a man code in the restroom. It's called urinal etiquette. When you walk into a urinal, if there are 3 and no one's in them, you do not choose the middle one. You choose an end. It may be the short little one. It may be a tall one. It doesn't matter. Pick an end. Okay? Don't pick the middle and make the next guy make the decision, because most people in today's world go in the stall when they have to make that decision. They piss all over the seat and no one can take a crap properly, okay? Sorry, that's vivid. It is what it is. There's a certain thing as urinal etiquette. Pick the most spaced out you can so you're not next to the guy trying to look over or whatever's happening. Who knows what's going on in his brain, okay? But save yourself and pick the end, leave the middle open. And then if more people come in, then they fill up. It is what it is. But start your urinal etiquette correctly. So all hell nah to that, as my image says up there. All right.
Oh, I guess mine says WTF. So
say that.
What the fudge? Mine, obviously, this week, if you're a ref in a college game, make the call. Stop being scared to make the call. Now, are there some things you let happen, like interference, holding, stuff like that? But when it's targeting, when it's blatant pass interference, when it's hitting a defensive receiver, when it's throwing the quarterback's head into the ground, make the damn call. Make the call. I realize you don't want to be part of the controversy of the game. Well, guess what? What is everybody talking about this week? That was targeting. And of course, all of you Longhorn fans are, oh, that was targeting. He didn't. that wasn't target. No, you guys made targeting. So, and yes, that's how Longhorns fan talk. So that's why, and I do have another one
Oh,
when you're ready.
Go ahead. Go.
Two-faced fans. That's my whole thing. Is that if it happens to your team, oh, that wasn't it. It wasn't it. But as soon as you see it happen in another team or another game or against you, you are like, oh, it's like, I'll give you an example. The dude who makes the tackle and he's like, yeah. And they're like, look at that butthead getting all crazy about making a tackle. But then when it's their guy, yeah, baby, yeah, show him, yeah. Quit being a two-faced fan. That's all I have.
Okay. Well, folks, that's everything on the paper.
Or on the iPad. You need to get with the technology, man.
Look, man, don't criticize how I do things. All right, you just show up and look beautiful.
You're my kid. I can criticize how you do stuff all the time.
Man, whatever.
That's my job.
All right. Anyways,
who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
Stop that garbage, man. You really gonna bring that to our first live show? Really, man?
That's what I tell him on the golf course when I get a better shot than him, which is rare because he usually kicks my butt because I'm the one who taught him. But that's what I say. Who's your daddy?
Oh my God, it's such a low blow too. Like, wow. Hold on, we got.
There's no comeback from that.
Oh, that's all right. Thank you, Linda, for commenting. Yeah, it's yeah, nah, man, he don't even compete on the golf course no more. But man, folks, this is what I deal with all the time. This is what I deal with right here below me. Man, but yeah. All right, I guess we should just shut up and get off the air. But
yeah, thank you everyone if you hung around the full time. Thank you for sticking around.
Yeah, it was solid.
And this was the first one. We'll get better,
or we won't.
We'll get better because we looking for sponsors. So join up.
Yeah, you want to get an ad on there? Contact me if you want to become the sole sponsor of the show. Hit me up. There's a price tag for that too. Our goal is to,
$1 billion.
It's not quite $1 million, but we'd love to. I'm a public school teacher and a coach and a disabled veteran as you are. So, well, you're not a teacher and a coach, but you are a disabled vet. So, feel free to support us. Yeah,
because one of the things we'd like to do is have some giveaways or prizes at some point for our show.
I will say this: we have a new audience, and I want to bring this to attention because I was talking to the Tired Sports guys, and they didn't realize how deep our thought process with our show goes. And so, like the On Time Sports Talk, our last name is scheduled. That's why it's on time. All right, we're always on time. Don't do it. Do not do your joke, please. Don't. No.
Schedule. I ain't scheduled. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, you're miles." Anyways, that's the premise for he's the father, he's the original, I'm the remix, I'm the son. If you didn't get that, but the one thing most people don't get is why we picked the colors we did. The teal, that is to bring PTS awareness to that is the PTS awareness color, and that is
PTSD. Right?
Sorry, I kept shorted on that, and that's why we choose that color to try to kind of put that in your mind. There's a lot of organizations we want to ultimately help in our platform and grow this platform, and a big one here locally for me is Camp Hope. They do great things out there, and we would love to grow this and be able to really impact those community, the veteran communities, in a positive way. So that's why we chose that color. That's why a lot of the stuff I wear, if I'm not wearing a funny T-shirt, is normally representative of trying to bring awareness and being encouraging. And through the Tell Valhalla project is normally the shirts I wear. So today I decided to wear a funny one that my little brother gave me years ago. So, but that's why we chose the color and kind of all the stuff. So we appreciate y'all watching. Seriously, whether it's my live feed on TikTok that's separate here, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever you're at, thank you so much for supporting us. And this is only the beginning, teaming up with Tired Sports Network. And yeah, let us know if you want to support us, contact us, follow us. Tickers going down there, at Coach Schedule, at Easy Eddy. Don't know how much longer TikTok is going to be around, with the ban. Hopefully they'll figure that out. But probably get the Instagram up soon as well. So thank y'all again. And, y'all have a great evening. And we'll see y'all next week, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be back. Peace. We're out.
Have a good night.